Who am I talking to?
Emily.
Okay, awesome. What was your question?
Okay, so I remember when a long time ago I heard you mention that you had actually uh, been almost brought into the far right mindset when you were
Hmm.
much, much younger, but you ended up getting out of it. I was wondering how that came to be that you actually got out of it.
When I was growing up, I was completely apolitical. I had some beliefs kind of, in the back of my head that I subscribed to, just some stuff that I picked up. I wasn't anti gay, surprisingly. Like a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses are anti gay. I had no hangups with gay people at all. I didn't believe in misogyny. I didn't believe in hate or any of that other stuff. But I did believe in the Iraq War, believe it or not. I thought that the Iraq War was justified at the time. I mean, I was like 10 or something, even younger than that, maybe. So I was, yeah, when was that? Like '04? I guess it was like 14 or 15. So I had a lot of backwards views, but they weren't based on anything because I was so completely like unconnected to politics generally. Finally, I start kind of going around YouTube and looking at what some people were saying. I got involved in the atheist community, started thinking about atheism generally and stuff because I was like leaving Jehovah's Witnesses behind or whatever. And
Yes.
the atheists that I was like listening to started going down a right wing rabbit hole. I don't know how involved you were, but do you remember like Thunderfoot and like Sargon of Akkad and all that?
I didn't really get into YouTube until after all that had peaked and kind of faded.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, Thunderfoot, Sargon of Akkad, Armored Skeptic, and a bunch of other YouTubers were very, very popular at the time. They were like 400,000 subscribers or so. I think Sargon
Mhm.
eventually reached a million. The Amazing Atheist was another who reached a million, I believe. Anyway, they all kind of stopped talking about atheism and started talking about feminism. And the things that they were saying, they kind of like made sense to me at the time because they were talking about the way that they framed it. Do you know Anita Sarkeesian?
I've heard the name, but do continue.
Okay, Sarkeesian was like somebody who was getting some level of mainstream recognition as a feminist who was talking about women tropes in gaming, like women as rewards for succeeding in the game or whatever. And the things that she had to say were legit. Like she had some interesting points, but at the time I didn't realize that or even think about it. And Sargon of Akkad, he was like this right wing YouTuber who was from the United Kingdom and just like laid into Anita Sarkeesian like in an absurd way. And Thunderfoot as well was just awful and like organized like doxing campaigns against her and everything. It was absolutely nuts. And I remember thinking the way that they're framing it, Anita Sarkeesian was in the wrong. But of course, that's not reality. And I didn't know that
Yeah.
at the time. Nobody knew that. I
Yeah.
remember there was an article that came out at the time, like all these years ago, about the right wing pipeline on YouTube, and Sargon of Akkad was responsible for a lot of it, and so is the Amazing Atheist. So is the Quartering. I don't know if you remember him, Bearing, and some others. So the way that they framed it up, it was like it seemed very obvious that like women were getting upset over absolutely nothing and
Yeah.
and they deserved to be made fun of. That's how it was framed at the time. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, that's how it's often. Yeah, I'm just agreeing with you.
Hmm. So anyway, that was it. Took me kind of taking a hard look at a lot of the arguments before I really started to recognize like this is completely made up. Like one of the main things that kind of stuck out to me was when Bearing was a YouTuber at the time. He was from Australia. They had this referendum going around Australia, and the referendum was, should we allow gay marriage? I don't think it meant anything yet. I think that they were going to pass the law or they were going to introduce it or something based on the referendum. But Baring said he was going to vote against gay marriage in Australia because he just wanted to stick it to the liberals. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I've always been pro gay since I was little. Like, why do we care if gay people get married? Why does that matter? I don't understand. And this dude has literally like gone all the like wrapped back around and is now like clearly on the right, clear as day. He seemed to be on the left when I was involved in it. He pretended to be on the left, like Tim Pool, but he's not, obviously, right?
Correct.
And that was the moment, I think, probably that it kind of, a switch flipped in me, and I realized that these people were all completely full of shit. And not long after that, Armored Skeptic started releasing conspiracy theory videos about absurd stuff like the mud flood theory and stuff, and presenting it as though it was real and everything. Like, all these people just started going off in bizarre directions, and Sargon of Akkad ran for office in the UK and got like 6% of the vote, but he was like a far right party leader or something like that. I mean, it was all absurd.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
So,
Okay, just another thing. What is the mud flood thing?
it was some stupid, ridiculous conspiracy theory that just showed me that Armored Skeptic never thought skeptically, nor was he armored. His whole persona was a lie. Anyway, let me look it up because I forget now and I'm curious. The mud flood conspiracy is a pseudoscientific conspiracy theory that suggests a global cataclysmic flood of mud occurred in the 18th or 19th century. Adherents claim this event buried an advanced, forgotten civilization known as Tartaria, and that evidence of this past has been intentionally suppressed by modern governments. The theory originated in Russian nationalist circles and spread through online forums. Anyway, so
That's dumb.
Yes.
That's
oh my
dumb.
God. It's so fucking stupid. And this dude was like endorsing this idea. And there's still a video on his channel about it, if I remember correctly. But anyway, the point is that as soon as I saw one little crack, one hole in their logic, everything just fell apart completely. But everybody was involved in it. Like Secular Talk, Kyle Kalinske was involved in this and believed in a lot of the same garbage that was spread. I mean, he's out of that now, and he also doesn't agree with it anymore. But it just encompassed everything. It was a cultural moment. Gamergate. It was wild.
Yeah, I was when I was agreeing there with you. It's a lot of the time somebody seems like they know what they're talking about, and then the crazy starts showing, and it doesn't make any sense to me watching. You don't know what the F just happened. Like just when Mega was new, there was a lot of people who seemed sane and ordinary, and then they start going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And they bring their fans with them, or at least some of them.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so disturbing to watch it all unfolds the way that it does. Here, I found the video. I mean, I'm not going to play. It's 37 minutes long, but he 100% legit endorses the mud flood theory. Like, what the fuck? He was an atheist YouTuber. He's fallen off completely. But yeah, they drag people along with him. And I'm so glad to see larger YouTubers appear and TikTokers like Dean Withers and Parker. Are you familiar with them?
I know the names, but nothing's really clicking of something that they've said. So
that was pretty interesting. They came from TikTok, and Parker Get a Job is the name. And I think he has like 1.5 million subbies on TikTok, 400,000 on YouTube. Dean has 400,000 as well. And they just sit there and they debate people. They debate MAGA people for like 4 hours at a time. And it's really interesting to listen to them kind of destroy MAGA arguments. But
about when it comes to destroying these types of arguments, I've heard a lot about at a certain point debating is actually hurting your own cause because you shouldn't be giving these people airtime, really.
Yeah. 100% agree. I've thought about that a lot, and I've even talked to Genetically Modified Skeptic about that, just like yesterday or the day before. I talked to him about this, and I think it depends. I think if we're debating something like, does chocolate milk come from brown cows? That is a lost cause because it's obviously like nobody believes that, except 7% of the population believes that, right? We shouldn't be debating things that are not very believed, but when we're on the losing side of an issue, I think we should. Like, right now we're on the losing side of MAGA or trans issues or whatever, not because we're wrong, but because so many people buy this garbage, right? Like, so many people already think that trans people are taking advantage of kids in bathrooms or some other shit. And it seems like if it wasn't a very accepted belief, then maybe I should just leave it alone. Like maybe evolution and creationism should mostly be left alone, although I think we might still be on the losing side of that. Sign up for my Patreon. I'd really appreciate that very much. It would mean so much to me. This is like a really precarious moment in history, in US history, and for me personally, so it would mean a lot if you sign up for my Patreon. Check out cultarchive.org. I did a cult test, basically, where you can see if you're in a cult, and you can look at the historical tests of other groups that already went through this. Also, check out my merch. I have a whole bunch of really cool shirts and stuff. Really interesting. I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, when it comes to those things, you just eventually you come up with a couple lines in response that kind of says everything, and you just move on.
Yeah.
Because you, like what I used when people are going off on the internet, I would sometimes just give them articles to read and like highlight and like screenshot parts of the articles that show they're wrong and let them just sit with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not putting the effort in to explain it. But with the trans thing that drives me nuts is people insist that it's just a way to sexually interfere with women or children, but I always like to point out, like, people, like, you don't have to put on a dress to sexually interfere with people. People who want to do that are given free reign mostly to do what they want. So why are they going to put the dress on? And it's just
absolutely. Yeah. And my argument has been, if you care about, say, women in sports or trans people in sports or whatever, are you aware that Donald Trump has more sexual allegations against him than there are trans people in the NCAA, for example? Like
I read, like, in 1 month there are more Republican politicians or some variation of working in politics that have been charged with child sex crimes than there are trans people who are playing sports for what the gender they wish to play, like stuff like that. Like, it was just, when you read stuff like that, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, and it puts it into perspective too, for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you show this how blatantly wrong these people are, they still don't accept it. So, like, it's good to put your information out there, but don't carry on with them, obviously.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, as a public figure, I have to think about, like, the correct strategy behind this, because if I draw attention to something that's pointless or that's damaging, then that's on me, you know?
Yeah.
And Genetically Modified Skeptic actually basically said that to me the other day, and it's been knocking around in the back of my head, and I've been thinking about it, about what, am I doing more harm than good by engaging in certain debates and stuff? It's something I'm considering. I'm just trying to knock it around,
Okay, well, what are you considering of doing differently then?
What am I considering doing differently, you say?
Yeah, because of this conversation you had the other day.
I'm considering whether it's worth it to do full debates, because a full debate is on the table right now with me. Like, somebody is trying to organize a debate with me and some other very large YouTubers, like 500,000 to 1 million subscriber YouTubers. And I'm not sure if I should. That's what I'm knocking around.
Is it the guy that came and busted in and tried to challenge you to a debate because allegedly you talked? Yeah,
that's it. Okay. Him and some other people, yeah.
Okay. I was there for the what went down, and they, at the end of it, they seemed to be speaking very openly with you. So they changed their tune after they just shouted insults for a while. They calmed down and started to speak openly. Yeah. So maybe with that fellow, but a lot of the time it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm just like, I feel comfortable debating like MAGA topics because I feel like they are on the winning side culturally at this moment, and the more people show up on his channel to challenge him, maybe the better. But at the same time, I'm drawing attention to this, and if I give a good debate performance, then his channel is going to grow more, and then it's on me,
Well, if he's willing to change his views at all, then sure, do it.
Not.
But if he doesn't, okay, then don't waste your time.
Right? He's not. He's a lost cause. I did another 2-hour debate with him the other day, and
I didn't watch it. I didn't know if I could.
Oh, it's super interesting, I think, and it just shows the clearest case of him being completely shut down. Like, there's literally nothing that I could say. But I am changing the minds of some of the audience. And at the end of the day, whose mind am I trying to change? An audience or his, right? So
That's true, and I kind of enjoy the idea of you getting some people from his audience to pay attention to you in the end, because it did seem that's what they were hoping to do to you initially.
yeah, definitely. So I don't know. It's kind of it's hard. It's hard to figure out, and I'm still thinking it through, like how I do the most good and the least harm.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, all right. Well, anything else you wanted to mention?
No, I think that's kind of wrapped up, so I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Awesome. Anyway, all right. Let's see. I'd pay money to see you debate Anahit. I'm unfamiliar. 2 hours? Yikes. Feel sorry for you. Yep. It was 2 hours, and I edited and cleaned it up. I basically didn't remove anything except for long gaps. But if you want to see it, it's on my Unfiltered channel. Owen Unfiltered. The whole debate is up there.